Welcome. This is Pablo from Style Systems. You already know me. I'm your image consultant and your lifestyle designer. So I named this video Why You Should Cuss. Why you should be cussing all the time. Well, at least not all the time. Let me explain you why I cuss. I'm not going to explain it, but why there's a number of studies that you've probably seen on UCLA, or a number of posts that say that people that cuss more are more open, are more intelligent, are more honest, and blah blah blah, and so on and so on. I'm not here to tell you that this university made this specific study and this is why you should cuss. I'm not about that. I'm going to explain it in the way that I have experienced it, which is literally all we can talk about. If you have not experienced it, then you should not be talking about it. If you have not experienced something, that you should at least say, I don't know about it. That doesn't mean that you should believe it or disbelieve it. I'm not telling you that you should believe what I'm saying. For all I care, I'm just going to say a lot of nonsense. But at the very least, you should or you can entertain the thought and explore it onto yourself. So why you should cuss? What's on the other side of cussing? Is being very restrictive, right? Being very, very uptight, if that makes sense. And you should not cuss. You should not do this. You should not be too loud. You should not speak up. You should there's a lot of shoots with people that tell you that you should not cuss. Maybe you are one of them. My experience with people that have some sort of a problem with cuss words, with bad words in quotes, it's because they're living a life that is very, very, very restrictive about themselves. It's very confined. They hold a lot of limitations with it themselves, not only linguistically, but also in other aspects of their lives. They cannot do this, they cannot do that, because they're not supposed to do it. They should not be doing this. What's the simplest way of explaining this? The simplest way of explaining this is fake people. Politically correct fakeness, right? People that say I cannot cuss because, what are others going to think about me? You live your life, or these people live life. I'm not going to say you. These people live their lives based on the opinion of others, on what is going to happen if they hear me saying this, what is going to happen if they see me doing that. And this basically means that they're not living their own life. They're not free enough to even say one word or even thinking about that word. I know people that live that life, that they're not even free enough to even think about the word. They immediately feel bad about themselves just because they thought of a bad word. And it's just words. There is a video that I think they already took down of YouTube with Anthony Robbins. Shout out to Anthony Robbins. He's a phenomenal guy, where he talks to an audience full of black people. And the first word that he says in front of them is, "You niggers." And everyone is like, whoa, shit, did he just said the N-word? Anthony Robbins? Of course, it creates a commotion. But then he goes about explaining why he's doing that. This is about neuro-linguistic programming and all of that stuff, which I will not get deeper on today. But I will truly bring this awareness onto you that just a word, how much a single word can do to you. You see, a word is just a vibration. It's just vibration, right? Of course, it has a certain energy, but a word, for a word to do something onto you, you need to embrace it. You need to accept it. It is your own perception and your own meaning of the word. You can start cussing at me in a language that I don't understand, but with a smile. You motherfucking piece of shit. Vete a la verga, estúpido de mierda. Ojalá que te jodan y que te mueras. And maybe some of you understand Spanish. Maybe some of you don't understand Spanish. But you see, I can lie. It's just words. But the meaning behind the word, I may try to give a meaning behind the word, but the actual meaning is not the one that I give it. It's the meaning that you will give it. It's how you choose to interpret that word. With that being said, that means that only us, only you, only me have the ultimate power to decide what a word, what an action, or what everything will do to us in this reality and in this world. So going back to the cussing part, I find it fascinating people that don't want to cuss and that they get offended because I cuss or anybody else is cussing. They think it's not professional. So that is living a life with a lot of, a lot of not only limitations. I'm trying to come up with a better word. Like, this is how you're supposed to live, right? This is like thinking that you know better. With such a high moral that you think you know better. You think you're better than anybody else or everybody else. That means that if you say a certain word in a specific place, blah, 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 something bad is going to happen. Like, why are we letting these people have a saying into our lives on how we are supposed to live life and this and that, right? People that tell you how you're supposed to live, I think they are the first one, the first type of people that should look at themselves and tell themselves, say unto themselves how they're supposed to live. People that are so eager to give advice, you're not supposed to cuss, they are the most crooked, the most crazy, the most uptight, the most limited people in the world. Now, cussing, it can come because of various things. One, it could be because you're doing it like Anthony Robbins, that example that I just gave you. You do it with a specific purpose, to create commotion, to break the pattern, which is one of the first things that you learn if you study hypnosis and all these things. Break the pattern of the politically correctness of the zombie mode that everyone is living in, right? Everyone is on autopilot. Everyone's like, they don't understand why they're saying what they're saying. They do not only understand, but they're not even aware of their actions and their words. Just go into Target right now and talk to a random person and they will tell you the same thing. Have a good one. Have a good what? Or they will tell you, they will say, hey, how's it going? But they don't even understand. They're like little machines operating on autopilot. So when you cuss, something shifts, like whoop, you break the pattern and then you have their attention. With that, you already know what follows attention follows many other aspects, right? I will not get into that today. Then there's another aspect of cussing. There's the aspect of lack of linguistic, lack of knowledge in words, right? In English. Who am I to say that English, this is how you're supposed to talk English and whatnot, because this is not my native language, as you can probably tell right now, right? But some people that, I don't want to say they're stupid or they're dumb or they're they're not smart enough, because that comes off as being condescending, right? There are people that are lazy in the way that they talk, and that's why they choose to just cuss a lot. Either way, if you're not free enough to use these tools that we have at our disposal in the way that you choose to, that is going to be, it's going to permeate other aspects of your life. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't have the freedom to say a bad word, in quotes, bad, how can you be free enough to think and let your imagination run wild and to create new things in your life, or to just, even in fashion, to wear the things that you want to wear and just to express in the way that you want to express yourself? If you place a lot of limitations onto yourself, you will live a life as a constipated human being. You will be constipated constantly, and you know that being constipated is not a good thing. It's not the best way of living life. You will be very reactive. You will be very angry or very very sad and very your life will be full with a lot of shoulds instead of do's. Instead of you doing the things that you're supposed to do, or the shoulds, you'll just be living a life of you should do this, you should do that, and then you will be giving a lot of advice, which is what we see with people that are very constricted, very limited. You should not curse. Oh, you should not do this. You should not do that. You should blah, 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 blah. People that live a life of freedom, we don't have to say what you should or what you should not do. We're living our lives. We're so busy worrying about ourselves and doing our own thing that we are not going to stop living our life simply to tell you what you're supposed to do. Those that have ears, eyes, and those that have openness, and those that want to experience more out of life, they will see it. That's why some people, when they see me or one of my friends cussing in front of the camera or in front of you or doing such things, they get inspired, not because of the word. Remember, the word is just the word. The meaning that you give to it, that's the true impact of a word. What it makes you do. If you feel offended by it, okay, it's just a word. What are you going to do about it? Right? Words are just words. The action that follows the word, or what you're going to do after that word, that's what you should be, or that's what we should be focusing on. But again, this is not about shoulds and shouldn'ts. I'm living my life and you should live your life. Again, I said should, right? Everyone should be, again, another should. Everyone is supposed to live their lives in the way that they want, at least within themselves, because on the outside there's a lot of shoulds. Everyone that does a Facebook live stream, everyone that is doing an Instagram live stream, everyone that is consider himself a coach, or people that don't even consider themselves coaches, everyone is so eager to give advice, right? Everyone is trying to influence another human being. Everywhere, everyone. You just have to open up your eyes and realize that every single person is trying to say something to you, like, well, this is the truth, and you should follow this truth, or you're not supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, and oh my God. So what happens on the outside is none of your business. You are not in control of what happens after you say a word, whether it's a cuss word or not. The moment it escapes your lips, it's no longer yours. It's not even mine now. Right now, what I'm saying, it belongs to you. How you choose to interpret it, it's up to you. I can shorten the gap with certain tonalities, with certain things. I can try to, with certain processes, I can make you understand what I'm trying to say. But I can suggest it. I cannot force you into it. You are the one who is going to give the meaning to it. So that alone could set you free on the inside, within yourself. Because what happens on the outside, it's not yours. What happens within yourself is totally yours. So if you're not free enough to cuss, ask yourself this question: in what other areas of your life are you not being free? In what other areas are you being constipated? You're being constipated with your freedom of speech, with your your expression. Sometimes you want to cuss, and after you cuss, there's a certain liberation to it. I give you the example. I started this live stream saying that this comes from experience. My own mother, she came from a very, supposedly good family, a family of money and this and that, so they had a lot of restrictions, like this is how you're supposed to eat, this is how you're supposed to talk, this is how you're supposed to see another person, blah blah blah, and very robotic, not very free, right? So she grew up thinking that cussing is bad. That's not what a educated person is supposed to do, right? So she went to therapy for a long period of time, and then she told me, you know what, I started cussing because I realized that there's a certain dimension that opens up within yourself when you are free enough to express yourself in the way that you want to express, whether you choose to cuss or not. You make the conscious choice. It's not that you have to cuss. It's not that you're not supposed to cuss. It's that you make a conscious choice. You are aware of yourself and you choose to do it consciously. You choose to do it with calibration. I'm not going to cuss in front of everyone. I'm not going to cuss all the time. There's calibration. That is the main difference between someone who is not well educated into these things, in linguistically speaking, or someone who is not aware of these things and just chooses to cuss randomly because I'm from the ghetto, I'm a gangster, that's what I'm supposed to do. And someone who is like, free enough. I'm free. And I can cuss if I want, and I choose to cuss or not to cuss, because only I have the freedom and the key to do whatever the fuck I want to do with myself. Right? So people that are very offended with this type of talking, my suggestion is, remember, this is just a suggestion. You don't have to do it. This is not a shoot. The suggestion is, why don't you try it and see what happens within yourself? And if you don't want to do it, then ask yourself, why can't I do it? What is the action? What is the thought? What is holding me back of cussing? Or hearing someone that is cussing and immediately feeling like something bad is happening. What is holding you back? And then try to understand this very same emotion or energy. Try to find it in other aspects of your life, because you're being constipated not only with your words, but I guarantee you that you're being constipated in other aspects of your life. So why you should cuss? It's because it's liberating. It's freedom of speech. As long as you're not doing it with the intention of hurting another human being. Literally, you don't want to make anyone lesser. You don't want to hurt them. Then if you want to cuss, why not cuss? Right? I know that this has been a long video, and I've been trying to do it a little bit more deeper. The simple way is just, you don't want to cuss because you're so in the matrix. You're so politically correct. You're so into this zombie mode that you're scared about what others are going to think. That way, my friends, you're not going to be free. You will not be liberated. You will not be fully in control of yourself. So stop thinking about others in the way that makes you feel disempowered. Start thinking about others in the way that empowers you and empowers them. If that means cussing, then fucking do it. Don't be constipated, and don't live a life of restrictions. Live a life of freedom, of you consciously knowing what you're doing without having to explain yourself. So this was a very long ass video, and as you can probably tell, I've not been cussing a lot just to create a little controversy. Why are you supposed to cuss? And I've not been cussing as I do on other videos. So literally, just try it for yourself. Just try it. See what happens. See if there's a part within yourself that just gets liberated, and then do it consciously with calibration. That's how you become better in your life. That's how you get true power, right? True freedom. You're not living as I'm telling you to live. You're not living as they are telling you to live, and you're not so easily scared by just a single stupid word. It's just a word. Don't be so uptight. Okay, guys, remember that I have my the Fashion Matrix, my podcast, every Thursday and every Saturday. Thursdays I do it in Spanish. Saturday I do it in English. Then I have my coaching program, The Power of Image, which I refuse to call it a coaching program. I understood that now this is a movement, right? This is a whole movement that I created, and it's people that are inside of The Power of Image. You can see them not only benefiting the benefits in their own life, but just the whole movement that we're creating, and it's very, very beautiful. So if you're interested in getting into The Power of Image, just send me a message and we'll figure out a way. If you cannot pay it, we'll figure out a way, because I want you there. If you're the type of person that wants to has a longing to be more and do more, you belong with us in The Power of Image. Okay, guys, with that, I'm going to leave you. Be the best version of yourself and start cussing, my friends. See you on the next one.